Let's go to problem number 6, 7.6, and I did 7.5, of course. Should be very similar. I think you guys, there's got a few extras on this one, and some of your guys' are expressed a little bit differently, but I think you'll find them to be very much the same. First, it says, what are the values? It says, the April rainfall in Flagstaff, Arizona follows a uniform distribution between a ½ inch and 3 inches. What's the values for A and B? 0.5 and 3. What's the mean? Right, 3.5 divided by 2 is going to be 1.75, and it also asks under B for the standard deviation, which again is b minus a squared, or 3 minus 0.5, so 2.5 squared is equal to 6.25. Okay, then I have to divide that by 12, and I end up with this, and I take the square root of that. Okay, so that's my standard deviation, which I probably should, I ask you guys to do that. I probably should put mine into some kind of a color. It's kind of dark. I like something a little lighter. Okay, then mine says C. It says, what is the probability of less than an inch of rain for the month? So then I have, I went ahead and calculated my height, and if you remember from going back, right, that for us to figure out a probability of a certain area, it's just the height times really whatever that area is, and so I'm asking for less than an inch, so I would have 1 minus 0.5, right, times my height, okay, and my height, I went ahead and calculated, is equal to, right, 1 minus b minus a. I got to put those in parentheses. Oh, I think it's supposed to be 1 divided by. I keep hitting that minus instead of the divided by. Okay, so 0.4. Okay, and so then for less than an inch, so it's just simply going to be equal to my height times, in parentheses, 1, because that's the number that I'm looking for, minus my bottom parameter, I guess you would say there. Okay, so that's equal to 0.2. Then mine asks me, it says, what's the probability of exactly 1 inch of rain? Well, how do we figure that? Well, again, it's going to be equal to my height times my 1 inch, but I don't go anyplace, right? Minus 1. So it's going to be my height 0.4 times 0, which is going to be equal to 0. So the probability that I would end up with 1 inch exactly is roughly equal to 0. Okay? And then the probability that it would be better than 1.5 inches, is that right? Yep. So then again, it's just simply equal to my height times, in this case then I would take my b, and I got to put that in parentheses, I'm sorry. Oops. So it's b minus my 1.5, and I end up with 0.6.